Good afternoon. I will go over all pairs for a weekend review to prepare for next week, starting with the pairs that I'm trading and that I have the most clarity on, and then working through the rest of them. Um, I probably won't get a new microphone for a few weeks, so this will have to work for now. Also, I will put the timings of each pair into the description box, so if you want to jump to the one you're interested in, you can do that. Starting with Aussie New Zealand, this maintains a very bullish view going into next week, with the possibility of a correction underway with the ending of a five-wave move for one of three here. On the weekly chart, we have a five-wave advance. We've had a three-wave correction for 2 or B, a five-wave advance into the end of in the third quarter of last year, and so far a bullish advance here. We had a three-wave correction into January, and we've completed 3 waves up, and I would say we've completed 4 now on the 4-hour chart. I had to keep pushing up the level for wave 4 until it was about here, partly based on the 8 EMA, which works on all time frames in trending markets. As you can see here, I went over this last week. It's been working on the 1 hour and the 4 hour. When it breaks one time frame, it moves to the higher one, and now it seems to be on the daily. Now the issue here is that I think wave 4 is in. We made a new high on an impulsive move. This high, the move from the Thursday night low, can be counted as a 5-wave impulse. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, and so far we've corrected down. I would prefer to see another correction for this move towards here before it takes off. Now there are 2 scenarios, very simply. Wave 4 is in. We've impulsed to a new high, so wave 5 could be in. So if this low is broken, Thursday night's low at 10634, if that low is broken, 5 waves will be done and will correct further down for what would be wave 2 of this bullish third wave. Alternatively, if this low is not broken, which I'm favoring, considering we have an inverted hammer here at support, and the daily also has a candle that would be okay, and we are above the 8 EMA in a strongly trending market. If this low is not broken, I'll be looking to buy more into this. My stop will simply be here, so it's very low risk on this continuation. Judging proportionally, we can certainly see our higher move since 1 was longer, and this is extremely bullish still. So towards 108, above 108 for a 5th wave still. Alternatively, a 3-wave correction into next week, with this whole segment here being wave 1 of 3. So nothing's changed about this pair. It remains very bullish with another low risk extension going into next week. Euro New Zealand also remains bullish despite the daily close. Looking at the weekly chart from the daily perspective, actually, 5-wave advance in 2015, a long correction, an ending diagonal pattern. Now, this ending diagonal can morph slightly. I've been looking at this as 1, 2 for the election spike, 3, 4, 5, and this would be a major low. However, this spike is rather ridiculous for 2 of an ED. So this whole segment here can be 1 of an ED. 2, 3, which is shorter than 1 usually. 4, which would see this move peter out around 149. And 5 down into here, changing slightly like this. So into, for example, if it does fail around 149x and comes down, we still have a very bullish scenario towards 145, 144 into March and April, probably following the Dutch elections. However, that's not the kind of thing I want to bet on because of the pattern overall, the corrected pattern overall of this impulse, and because we have a valid situation that this could be 5 of an ED. I would want to be long this move because if this does break, it will extend, as I currently have us in wave 3 or C, and this will be very bullish going into the next few months as well. On a lower time frame, we had a 5-wave impulse last week, or rather the week before, I think, a 3-wave correction into the 61.8 level, and since then we've impulsed in one wave up, one bullish wave up, and we've had a 3-wave correction. A bit lower would be fine, otherwise there's no obligation to be a bit lower, of course. So we're looking for it to hold a 50% retrace, essentially, also a breakout level retracement. 1474x 50, that area, for a continuation either for wave 3 or C towards 149x. I'll be buying into this. This was a simple trade here for a 3-wave correction, and we'll see how this works out. On the weekly, the last 3 weekly candles, you can make a case they are basing, but they are also indecisive. But it remains bullish for now. Pound New Zealand. Generally, New Zealand is the weakest currency around ever since the Friday before last bank news from New Zealand, where they held interest rates. This pair has been, this currency has been weakening across the board. So Pound New Zealand, like cable, I have it in a 4th wave correction from the 2015 high. I have a 3-wave move down so far. I'm looking at this as 4 and one further low. Now this, at the moment, we've had an A wave up, which I'll show on a lower time frame, a B wave, and I'm looking for a C wave into above 180, 182, basically to the wave 4 area of wave 3. However, given it's a wave 4, it can always morph into something else. So on the 4-hour, 5 for A, 3-wave correction for B. So far, from the B wave low, I was maintaining this as 1. It turned into 3, so I've marked it as A, 3 waves for B, 1 wave impulse to here. And so far, I think we're going down in a C wave with the correction to continue a bit lower. So long as this level maintains, holds, I'll be looking to buy into this, probably around the 61.8 level, anywhere here, so long as we see a reversal impulse or basing candle, something of that nature. This segment can also be slightly adjusted so that we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a very long ending diagonal for 5. So this would be 1, and this would be 2. Proportionally, it's a bit distended, but it would work. So this pair remains bullish in the next week so long as this low holds and we can find a low. There are a few pound pairs that are bullish. The next one I will look at, just a moment. Yeah, I am looking for this to turn up. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention, or rather, even if this is a triangle situation where you would have A, B, and C, it remains bullish so long as this low holds for a C wave up to the high 1.7s. So even with the triangle situation with a B, C situation, I would still look to buy into this next week. Looking at another pound pair, pound Canadian dollar. If you've seen my last charts, you'll know that I've been bullish on this too. Into the 2015 high. Disregarding this for a moment because it could be an AB or it could be a truncation. Judging just from this area all the way down, we've had 5 waves. That's what counts here, and an impulse from the new low. So I am looking for this to continue for at least one more impulse up. If this does break towards previous wave 4 of wave 3 again. The impulse on this move, this in my opinion is a clean 5-wave impulse, all in one long sweep. 3 waves down, we've actually had 3 waves down so far because Friday's spike broke the W low by 10 points, and given it was a hammer, I bought into this, and it reversed, but that's what stops are for, so it stopped out at break even. The fact that it broke this made it valid as a spike low to see a move up, which did not materialize. So we're correcting down further, so I'm still keeping this in C of Y for wave 2. Any further low, I can't predict the low. There's a channel here, but the channel doesn't have to hold. It's only a guideline. It can stop above that. It can stop below that. It doesn't matter. There's a 61.8 level here just below. There's a 50 level above. It can stop anywhere in here if it turns bullish. So this is another pound pair. I'm looking to find a low. The weekly stochastics have turned up generally when stocks start a move up like this. They do tend to continue till they reach the other side. So I'll be looking for this to continue just based on this. But the main thing is the price pattern. And the corrective nature of this maintains a bullish slant, which I'm looking to buy into next week, most likely. I'll cover cable later. I want to go over, let me just see, one moment. A few days ago, for the first time, I brought up Euro Australian dollar. I had this boxed area on the chart for a possible reversal area, as we've seen a 5-wave impulse from there now. Looking at the weekly chart, going back to 2012, we had a 5-wave impulse in the Euro Aussie. 3-wave correction, triangle for X, 5 waves down in a, it's not quite an ED, but it is channeling for a possible Y level here. So we're in the zone for this series of 3s. I'm looking at the weekly chart for a second. Oh, it's not a hammer. It's been a 5-wave impulse here, so I'll be looking to see if we find support for another leg up on a 3-wave correction. So we'll see if that materializes. The box can go, that was as a guideline. So any type of 3-wave correction on here. Let's see if we can find a low there for another leg up. If not, I'm only going to buy into it if we see a support level hold in a corrective decline. If this simply falls through, let it be. There are other pairs that are more interesting. I'm not here to catch a low, I'm just looking for an impulse that I can trade off of, which we seem to have established here so far. Okay, I'll move to dollars now, dollar pairs. As usual, and especially now, this is the most talked about market. Dollar and commodities in dollars, given the whole nature of everything is. It seems to be quite unstable now. The Friday move has been good. I'm still looking for a further correction of this. I prefer to see one more dollar high at least, possibly with a more aggressive pattern up. This, I went over this on Friday, I think. This has been a corrective decline for the last couple months. And the move up from the low can be 5 waves. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. So 5 waves up. A of a correction, looking for another leg down for C of a correction, a 3-wave corrective move. And if that can hold around 100 or 99 something, that would be a good move to buy into. So this works as an impulse. It's not the cleanest, but it's valid. So I'm going to, most of these pairs, most of these dollar-based pairs have a dollar strength look to them. Aussie, New Zealand, Euro favoring dollar strength. Cable, I'm preferring pound strength still, though it could be triangulating. US Canadian dollar is the one I'm expecting the dollar, the Canadian to outweigh the dollar. US dollar, Canadian dollar. Canada appears strong these days. 5-wave decline in 2016 took approximately 4 months. Corrective pattern, 8 months last year. It was a long summer. WXYXZ or Z. This could also simply be WXY for Y. I've marked it as Z because this is enough for Y itself. It was a long, choppy correction. Not fun to trade. However, the evidence now is to the downside. One impulse, 3-wave correction. Second impulse, 3-wave correction. The decline from the second impulse, second correction rather, has not been impulsive. So impulse, correction, not an impulse, probably another leg up. So long as it remains beneath the wave 2 high, so 13387, so long as it corrects beneath that, I'm looking to sell into this next week or the week after, whenever it gets there. I've seen a case made that this WXY into here is followed by a 3-wave correction for another leg up to 138 or so, because so far it's retraced just 50% and there could be a deeper retracement. It is possible, but I don't see any evidence of this. I would actually say there is no proof of this whatsoever. And if you're going to take this view, you have to sit back and wait for an impulse. My breaking level is here, as I've mentioned. There is some divergence on the chart, but in my opinion, this is not the sort of divergence to buy into, as there hasn't been an impulsive reversal yet. The reversal here so far was just 3 waves, which I'll go into. The other factor against this, aside from the evidence, is that it would make a very distended and extended wave 2, which for my taste would the proportions would look wrong. And time factors and look factors do come into wave patterns as well. It's not simply a count, it's also a time and a look to it. If the time's off and the look is wrong, it can also be invalidated, and pardon me, another count can be preferred. So for now, I'll stick with the evidence that this is downtrending. Oh, the other thing I want to mention is on the monthly charts. Another bit of information to favor the downtrend. Just looking at the stochastics here. Generally, when stocks move more than halfway and they take on a sideways pattern like this, they tend to continue to the other side of the stock bars here. So I would expect this to continue to decline. Yes, it could, wave 2 could extend, as I mentioned, and it wouldn't break this idea, it would just rise a little, and then we would see that huge collapse most of us have been expecting. However, I will repeat that. I do expect this to come down, just as here, when it broke above, there was a correction here of an impulse. It did eventually make it back up. Here it did not, but it reversed quickly. Here again, it continued to the other side. Here is a more accurate stall out on the stocks. This was a corrective issue anyway, but it did end up reaching the top. I've set these stocks, so I tried to make them smoother. Not the smoothest, there could be a longer wave look to them, but I use them on many trades and I find them really useful. So that's another bit of information to look for to the downside for now. So on a wave 4 chart, impulse, correction, impulse, 3-wave correction, corrective decline of 3. So if we see a break of this resistance line towards 1325, 133, I will mark that as the second wave of bearish wave 3. And so long as this wave 2 high at 13387 I think is not broken, I'm maintaining a bearish slant. If that does break impulsively, then I will also look higher as well, but I have nothing to buy into because this started out correctively as 3 waves, and it has not made a new low. If this had come down and made a new low, and then started a bullish correction, a bullish move up, maybe I would have switched sides, but there's none of that, and also I was still preferring the leading diagonal look, which it appears won't materialize now because the other down moves were 5s, and this is not. So that's the view for next week. If this holds, which it's looking like it won't, and it comes down further, I will adjust and consider beyond that, as there is a bearish count still for this to come down without making another high. Okay, Euro US dollar. Given the dollar, the bullish count on the dollar, I'm going to favor the bearish count on this. I was marking this as 3 waves down for a possible X wave and then further high, which would tie in with cable, but I don't have a bullish view on Aussie or New Zealand. So this move out of here, the move down so far has not been 5 waves. I mean, I don't think this is all of the correction. The move down so far could be in wave 3. We need to extend and continue down for us to get a 5-wave decline. So what I'm looking for on a wave 2 correction, this would be a B wave. We would see another C into 107, 107.5. And if it can fail in this region, I'll be looking to sell into that. So it's retraced 50% already. See if it retraces a bit more. I'll take that as it comes. Right now, although I'm bearish on this pair, or I favor the bearish side, I don't have a trade on this unless there's a 5-wave decline from here, or we see a C wave up for an ABC pattern into here. On the larger chart, I don't have this labeled. There are a few scenarios on this. I'll go over this because I find it really interesting too. From 2000, we had a 5-wave impulse into 2008, and we're now correcting that. So long as any down move, further down move, holds this low, I'm bullish overall for a turn. Question is how this is going to extend further, as it looks like it will. There's a lot of divergence coming into the monthly chart, and there are 2 possible counts here, which I'll go over. But so long as this impulse holds, I'm still looking for a turn up in this pair. Now, from the triangle, A, B, C, D, E, Now this is probably the favored count of a lot of traders, with a leading diagonal for 1, the second wave correction, and now a steep decline for 3. We've had 1 of 3, we're trying to establish 2 of 3, and then a large decline, which would see this beneath parity in a very strong dollar up move. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can draw an extension and look for a fib level down here. But as I mentioned already, there's a hold level on this, in my opinion. There is another count on this out of the try, though it requires a bit of creative labeling. A, B, C, D on Brexit, E. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 3, wave 4, and a new low with divergence on the monthly and a reversal candle and pattern. We'll see a 5-wave low. Now this requires a bit of creative labeling because of overlap here between 1 of 3 and 4 of 3. So you would have to do a creative, no, creative's the wrong word, this is an art, it's simply labeling, but you would have to fidget with this so that the correction for 2 of 3 would, one would have to end here. There would have to be a bit of a stretched, though not invalid, labeling for 2 of for 2. So 1 of 3, 2 of 3, 3 of 3, 4, and 5 of 3. So I'm maintaining that as a possibility, as this could be wave 4. I'm not going to state which one I prefer, frankly. I'm only looking to make money off of a down move here. Downside is favored. The trend is down. The correction, January correction, is in 3 waves. I'm sticking with the bearish count for now, and I'll see next week how this turns out. Cable. Following Brexit, which I put down as 3 of 3, followed by a larger wave 3 low here. I'm looking for a correction for wave 4. 2 possibilities: a move to 128 or above, or if that fails, triangulation, like we just saw in euro dollar for wave 4. A, B, C 2 weeks ago, or last 2 weeks ago. D, E, and fall for wave 5, which would probably tie in better with a longer wave 5 for euro dollar, but forget about that for now. Pound sometimes lately, since Brexit, has been doing its own thing. We are only a few weeks away from Theresa May going through with Article 50, but regardless of that, the situation's ongoing on the lower time frame. From the B wave low, I've had a 5-wave move into here. I was trying to label this as wave 2 for a bullish slant. This looks like it's failing. I'm expecting it to fail. There could be a triangulation here with a few scenarios going on. So it could be a situation where we have 3 waves up, A, B, and C towards 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 2x, and this would keep a bullish slant on it for a move higher. So 1 down. So this would be a 3-wave move. This would also, with the triangle, be a 3-wave move, and then look for a bullish move up in this. There's also a bullish wave move from the triangle here, but I'm I'm not really favoring it. So that's a possibility. If we see a new low beneath here, I would take that on as 3 up, 3 down for B or W, and then a bullish wave up for 3, for C, for a larger 4. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 2x we need to hold. Otherwise, if we simply break down here to 1, 2, 1x, I will adopt the triangle idea for wave D of the try. But for now, given bullish scenarios in other pound pairs and the way this is going time-wise with other factors, I'm still looking for a bullish move on cable. This is not a good pair to trade. However, if we do come down to 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 2x and it manages to base and there's a small impulse up, I will try to get in on this to the long side, as it would be a good move for about 500 points or so. But it needs a confirmation because it's been choppy, and right now it's not a good pair to trade. I'm simply watching this for development. This up move here was only 3 waves. Down 2. It does look good for a triangle here. A, B, C, D, E. So a triangle into this region and maintaining a bullish slant. If it falls through, I'll take it as D and then adjust. I won't be trading that. So I'm just looking for a low here for a bullish view. Can certainly do that. The stocks are coming down into a reset region. This is still trending up for now. I'm sticking with a bullish view on this with an idea for a possibility. Okay, Aussie dollar. I finally got a grip on an ending pattern on this pair. However, it's not confirmed. It needs another high. I don't have a long-term labeling on this pair, but I am looking for a down move. So long as, well, to go over this, there was an impulse here, which I'm putting down as A. Then we've got A, B, and C. These have been in 3 waves: 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So long as this level of A holds, so long as this is not broken, I'm maintaining this view. Impulse for A, very shallow B wave correction. I was working this as 5-2 with initially a triangle. There was no pop, and an ending diagonal, which failed. So now I'm viewing this as a series of 3s for an ED. So 1, 2, 3 for 1, 1, 2, 3 for 2, 1, 2, 3 for 3, 1, 2, 3 for 4, and this, if it holds here, you would see 1, 2, 3 for 5. Now, as usual with EDs, 1 is the longest, 3 is shorter, and 5 would have to be shorter than 3. No, one moment. Okay, so simply if it does find a base here, for example, let's say it opens on Monday and it continues up. By the way, there is a US bank holiday on Monday. So very simply, any further correction in this possible ED, which needs to be confirmed on a next move up, a move up would have to maintain below here. So it does not, so the 5th wave of the ED does not extend beyond the length of the 3rd wave. This would also keep it beneath the A high of the try. So that's what I'm looking for at the moment. I don't have an impulse down. I need to see either an ending pattern first or a small impulse down. This is not an impulse down. I don't know what that is. That's a 3 again. So I like this view of an ED ending diagonal into one region higher. Now, frankly, everyone, I think, is looking to sell this pair. Even if they don't have a count on it, judging by the movement, a lot of people are looking to sell. We are in a supply zone. I don't like to be on the same side of the trade as a majority of traders or people viewing a chart. However, that doesn't matter. The price pattern is there. So I'll be looking to sell into this with a another high if it happens. There's divergence on the daily. It would be a good trade to sell into with a larger size position, as the risk is very small on another high. So I'll be looking to really dive into that if it comes. New Zealand dollar, kind of strangulation in this pair. Water torture scenario. Three-wave correction for C. So far threes. I'm marking this as W. Choppy X-wave fest going into the high, which I'm bearish against. A lot of W's and X's going on there for WXY. Five-wave correction. A, B, C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There was no 5 on this. If I'm going to view this as a truncation. I need to see a small decline impulse first because I will need proof that this was a truncation. I can't count this as 3. Right now it's not looking like a decline, an impulsive decline, because that's 3. That looks corrective too, but if that's a truncation, I need to see proof here, and so far it's not looking so bearish, so maybe there's a deeper correction of some sort and I'll have to adjust the count. But on the daily, this does look like it's going to maintain a bearish view, so we'll see there. It's beneath the all-important 8 EMA. The weekly candle is weak. We'll see what happens with this one. I need further downside proof, or maybe there will be deeper correction, and this is 3 again. Maybe, and we see a 3 here, and another move down for the start of Y of the overall decline. So that's my quick view on that. We'll see what happens there. Just a moment. I was very bullish on this last week. However, my confidence on it has gone at the moment. I still slightly prefer the bullish count because this, well, let me look at this first. Truncation, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 3. Corrective move from the high, which retraced a typical 38.2 of wave 3 for wave 4. I was bullish here, and I was bullish in this region, though I didn't catch this move. It was a very shallow 38.2 correction of the whole 5-wave advance. Since then, it's kind of ugly. There are a couple of scenarios here. ABC correction for 2 needs to turn. It can turn. There's divergence on the chart. Get another low with an impulse, a strong corrective candle. I would try to buy into that if I see it. Another scenario, wave 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4 to here, 5. So all of 2 or part of 2, correction, another part of 2. Let's see what happens. First, I need to discount this move. I mean, even if this is 1 and this is the first leg of a correction, we need to see a bounce for B. So I'll take it as this pattern at first, and see what materializes here. This still favors a bullish continuation, judging by the overall pattern and count, and the dollar, the DX strength. If I was only trading candles, I would be totally bearish on last week, but there's more to trading than just one single candle, and no single candle will override a wave pattern as such. Another high would work out for 5, and with some divergence here, this is all still possible, so I'm still looking to get long this pair. I just don't have a trade to offer to take at the moment. Euro yen has broken down more than I liked. This was a bit of a stretch for 1 anyway, but it's still valid, so 1 would still be here. And this is a steep 3-wave correction. A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves for C maybe. However, unlike dollar yen, there's more of a bearish view on this because I don't have a truncation, or I have a 3-wave pattern to start. So AB, marking wave 3 is here with a number of corrections for 4 into 38.2 level. If we make a new low, I will maintain a bullish slant on this for another wave up because this is chop. It would have to really break this line and continue down, which I wouldn't have a trade on. And then I can rephase this maybe as 5 of C, maybe. But for now, I will stick with the bearish view, sorry, bullish view. That was not a slip, that was just a tired, tired out phrase. So we'll see if I break here, I'll try to maintain a bullish view for a third part here. 1, 2, 3 on a new low. Let's see what happens. I'm not interested in trading this without evidence. I won't trade anything without evidence or a very clear ending pattern to latch onto. But this one, compared to all the good charts, especially the New Zealand charts and the Canadian dollar charts, this is not interesting. Euro Canadian dollar, I haven't looked at this for a long time and I don't have any clarity on it, so I'll just skip it. Euro pound, again, seems to be going sideways. Where is that? Okay, I've seen two views on this. My favorite one from the July 2015 low. It's 5 waves, possible truncation. A, B, looking for a third wave down for C for the overall larger correction of a 5-wave pattern. However, mark this as A. This is corrective as B. We've had only 3 down. So there are a couple scenarios to go on here. See if we get a corrective move up to sell into, but this could also be triangulating for A, B, C, D, pardon me, A, B, C, D, E, and a collapse from there. For those people who have preferred this count as 3 with a 4th wave correction, to work that out, in my opinion, you would need to latch on to a leading diagonal here, which you can do to some extent. I like to trade LDs, but I don't view that as one. So I'll be just stepping back from this, looking to see what materializes with expected pound strength as well. Even just pound strength in the short term. I still favor a down move in this. So needs clarity. For me, it's not one to trade. This is a waste of time right now. Finally, I'll take another look at gold. A few days ago, I presented the most bullish scenario for gold. However, with this most bullish scenario, there needs to be an almost immediate bullish advance on it. And that hasn't yet materialized. 5 waves from last year. 3-wave correction, 5 for C. So far, 5 up. Correction, 5 up. Now, I'm offering as a bullish view 1, 2, and then wave 3, 1 and 2. So 1, 2, 1, 2 count. It'll need to take off. This would tie in with dollar weakness and any other problems going on. Alternatively, as this was one section of correction, this could also be a correction for an ABC into here, which is labeled as 1 of 3 right now. And we will look for a further decline for C of 2. So 1 up, ABC, wave 2. It remains bullish above 1050, 1046 or so. For the bulls to take off, there could be a deeper correction here for 2 of 3. However, if it starts to break down, I would draw. I don't have a position on this. I was just looking out of curiosity because I was suspicious of the dollar strength coming into the market. However, continued dollar strength could see this fall too. Also with US dollar yen strength for an expected wave 5, that would see a C wave here for 2. So that does tie in well. So that's a possibility at the moment. So it materializes here. All right, that's it for the review. I probably want to update on Monday. There are things I have to go out and do, but from Tuesday I will do some small updates on the daily when I see things on the charts. Okay, have a good weekend. Bye-bye.